Okay, so generally in an insert operation, what do? We try to take the data and we take the data into a say, Excel spreadsheet and put it into the database. All right. So the data that you're putting into the database or the data that you're inserting inside Salesforce is completely new. Correct? That's what happens in an insert, right? A new data is being created. So there is no connect with some existing data in the Salesforce. All right. So all that you're creating is new. New records are being created in Salesforce. However, the second operation which we are going to do, that is update. In update, it's not the same case. While you're trying to update the data, you'll have to update the data which are already existing. Correct? So you have to give some reference to which record you want to update. Makes sense, right? For new, I did not need to give any reference because it was completely new data which was being created. So no reference was required. But while you perform an update operation, you are going to update records which are already existing. So when you are dealing with some record which is already existing, you'll have to give some sort of reference to that particular record. How do you do that? To do that, you have the option of, you can do the same thing using data loader, but you have the option of giving a reference through some field. All right. Which record needs to be updated? I should give some reference to that particular record. So which field can I use for giving the reference, for referring to a particular record? Which field do you think we can use for it?
You're saying which can be used or which is the ideal one?
Which is ideal one, okay?
The record identifier?
The record identifier, the ID, okay?
Yep.
So because I cannot give a field as a reference which is not unique or which is not actually the identifier. So it has to be the unique field. ID is the unique field. So I can give the ID as the reference point that, okay, go check for this record with this ID and then update it, right? Rest everything is same. Just that while you're creating a file for an update operation, you need to make sure that you have the ID in that file. Just give me a minute. Let me just open a file which has some data and then we'll see how the update operation can be done. Hello. Yeah, Shefali, your voice is very low. Can you come a little closer to the microphone? Hello. Yes, Shefali, tell me.
What is data loader here?
Data loader is a standalone application. One more application which you download and install on your system for performing data management operations. I'll show you. Give me a minute. First of all, let's fetch the file. Log files. Success file. Okay, so in our last session we actually inserted these few records into the database. Okay, these are the records which were created and these are the IDs which were generated. So Salesforce, I've told you, every time a record is created in Salesforce, Salesforce generates an ID for it, and that's for every object. All right. So when I did the import, these are the IDs which are generated. Now this is the unique ID for this record, IBM. This is the unique ID for this record, Dell. This is the unique ID for this record, and this is the unique ID for Accenture. Every record that you have in Salesforce will have a unique ID. Okay, especially for Shefali because I think you were not there yesterday. So every record will have an ID. Okay. Now, if I want to update this record, let's say in Accenture, I want to, now I have already inserted the record, right? But the phone number, I feel that, okay, this phone number is not correct. I need to update this phone number. Okay. And the same way, if I want to update multiple records, if I just want to update one record, I can just go to that record and, click on edit. But right now we are talking about updating records in bulk. Okay. So, sorry?
ID will generate automatically.
ID gets generated whenever you create a record in Salesforce. Every record has an ID. You create a record manually or through data loader, every record gets an ID. Okay, and where do you see that ID? When you open a record, for every record there is an ID. Let's say this record, CAB, this is an account. This is the ID for that record in the URL. Okay. So these are the IDs for these records. Now, let's say I want to update all these records. So the information that I need to provide is first of all ID for the record and what field I need to update. Okay. Let's say I want to update the field called industry. I want to make the field industry equals technology. Okay. If currently I go and see this IBM record, right now this record does not have an industry. Industry is blank. Okay, let's say I just want to update the industry for all these records. So I have to give the, I'll have to supply the ID and I'll have to supply the field which needs to be updated. That's it. These things, the ones that you do not want to update, are not required. Okay, so let me just create a new file, and in new file I'll just put the information that I need. Okay, so I'm ready for my update operation. I have the IDs of the record which need to be updated, and corresponding to them I have the values which need to be updated. All that I need to do is I just need to go ahead and save this file in .csv format. Save as. Comma delimited format is in which you will have to save it. You can save it wherever you want. Update file. August. Okay, so the file is saved with the IDs and the field that needs to be updated. CSV file is ready. Now open data loader. As I told you, data loader is an application that you need to install on your system. I've installed it already on my system. Now this data loader will allow you to do insert, update, upsert, delete, mass data functions basically. Now I want to perform update operation, so I just have to go and click on update. That's it. Arvind, do you have the security token that we generated yesterday?
No, I had to generate a new one, but let me get it to you.
You have
Actually,
generated another one, or
yeah, I had, because
okay.
when I did the example yesterday, I had to redo it. Um,
By
do you
the
want me to send
way,
it to you, or will you get it?
yeah, you can send it to me. And security token, once you have generated, it does not expire till the time you do not change the password. So you can keep
No,
the same
actually,
security token.
so can you go back and view what the current existing ID is, or
No, I
how does that
cannot
work?
see.
Okay, so because I did not have pasted anywhere.
No, no, the last one that you have received in your email, you can just go check that and give it to me.
Oh, okay, I see.
Okay, try to log in into this. Okay, so login successful, right? Now go to next. Data in which object we are trying to update. So
Account.
when we are trying to update the data for which table? Accounts, right? So select accounts here. Browse the file that we just created. The file name is update file. Yeah, this is the file. It will only accept CSV file. So you must save the file in comma delimited format. That's it. Go to next.
Is there a reason why it is only CSV? Why not any other format? I mean, is there a specific reason why?
I mean, that's what they have actually allowed. That's how.
Okay, and the only reason I ask is, every system has a different way of outputting this data. And I was wondering why it is specific to CSV because it is prone to some errors, right? Like for example, a lot of systems store your name field as the last name, comma space first name.
Mhm.
In that case, wouldn't CSV be a little confusing because there is a comma in the field already?
Right. So basically, that's something that we'll have to do. We'll have to just take care of those, characters, and there are ways of, getting rid of that particular thing.
Got it.
Usually, your CSV files are, compared to your an Excel file and all this, CSV files are lighter, and CSV files are supported on most of the systems. Again, if you, think of something like a Microsoft Excel, that's something
Right.
which is not supported on Mac computers. So
Sure.
that's also one reason why a lot of these kind of tools, not just Salesforce, prefer CSV. Right?
Got it.
Okay. So now there are these two fields which I need to map. These are the two fields that I've created in my Excel spreadsheet or in the CSV file. And these need to be mapped with the fields in the Salesforce. To do that, you just need to click on create or edit a map. And let's map the fields. Here we have all the Salesforce fields. Select ID, map it against the ID, drag and put it here. Then select industry, map it against industry. That's it. Okay, so all the files that you have in the CSV need to be mapped. Once you have mapped the fields, you are okay. Now what it's gonna do, it's gonna take a reference from the ID because it's an update operation. So it will check for the ID, find the ID, and then go and update the industry for those records.
Whichever is the common field or that we're referencing, should it always be the first in that order on data loader?
The ID field, no, doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be.
So what if there is already, like, let's say some records already have a value populated in industry. So how does it know which is the primary key in that?
There is some record which already, no, it, see, ID is the primary key and it understands.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying how would data loader know which is the primary key in the fields that you just mapped?
ID is the primary key, that is what it understands. That's what I'm saying.
That's the default setting, is it?
That's the default setting.
So, for example, if for some reason there is a system from which you've got this data,
Hmm.
and it's a huge data set,
Hmm.
and you don't have a ID field in the existing system. So
Hmm.
let's say you're updating mass record, and let's, for
Okay, let's
example,
let
let's say,
before that
sure,
question, let me again remind one thing. You only update records which are, I can do an update operation for records which are already in Salesforce, correct?
right?
So there is no possibility that I will have some records which do not have an ID.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, let's say you're updating data that is missing from Salesforce, correct? So you basically,
Mm-hmm.
the source of the data you're updating is a different system,
Mm-hmm.
not
Okay.
Salesforce.
Mm-hmm.
So is there ever a situation, or is it possible to use a different field as a reference
It's
instead of
possible.
the ID?
It's possible. Yeah. But in that case, Salesforce will know. Right now, your account object does just has um, that field type is called an. identifier. So it just has one identifier field currently. Okay. In case you
Right.
define some other field as an identifier, then Salesforce will know that. Okay. Then it will
So my
take
question is,
either of.
where are you defining it as an identifier?
Okay. So the thing is right now, because there is no other field, okay, as an identifier, so it is by default taking this ID as an identifier. All right. When you have one more field as an identifier, let's say website, for example,
Uh-huh.
that's what you're trying to say, that okay, maybe
Right,
you need
right.
to update based on some other thing. So when you make website also as an identifier field, then Salesforce will ask you that okay, fine, which one do you want to use for identifier? Got
Got
that?
it. So
But currently
what
we
you're
just
saying
have
is
one
the
option, it
name.
will automatically take.
Okay, understood.
So for all the objects or all the tables which do not have a custom identifier field defined, that's one. For them, by default, ID field of Salesforce, this ID field, this is considered as the identifier, and it will automatically take that as an identifier.
Got it.
Okay.
Hello.
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 Yeah.
Yeah. Can we just go back and can I see that mapping again?
Here it
One
is.
more back.
Here it is. So, at the top you have all the Salesforce fields, and at the bottom you have all your CSV file fields. You just have to map them. ID to ID, industry to industry, or whichever field, right? And then click on OK. Then your mapping is done. Click on next. Define the directory where your success and error log files will be saved, and then click on finish. Are you sure you want to proceed? Yes. Okay. The operation has fully completed. There were 4 successful updates and 0 errors. So all the records got updated successfully. So for all these records, industry has got updated. Now shall I go back to this IBM record and refresh it? Now I should get, while I refresh this, I should see the industry populated here, right? Getting refreshed. See this technology, right? So all the records which I supplied in that sheet have got updated. Clear? So how an update operation is working. Now the next is a delete operation. If I want to delete records, okay, so if you want to delete one record, again you have the option of going to that record and clicking on the delete button. You can always come and click on delete button here, but this will delete one record at a time. Now what if I want to delete multiple records? Let's say I want to delete thousands of records at once. Okay, again, to delete the record, the concept is same. I'm going to perform some action on the data which is already existing, so I'll have to give some reference to that data. And what is the best way of giving the reference? The ID. Okay, so if you have to delete all these 4 accounts, again what you have to do, you just have to copy the IDs, create a new field. In delete operation, you don't need to give anything else. You just need to give the IDs of the records that you want to delete. That's it. All that you have to do is you just have to supply the IDs of the records that need to be deleted. In update operation, we had that requirement of supplying the other field also, but in delete, it's just the ID that is needed. Just give me one quick minute. Let me just get the charger. Right. Here we are. So for delete operation, again you have to prepare a CSV file. Just supply the IDs in the CSV file and save it. Same comma delimited format and name it whatever you want. Delete file 19 context. Okay, done. Go to the data loader. This time you should click on the delete operation. This time I want to delete the record, so just go ahead and click on delete. What do you want to delete? Accounts. Browse the file. Delete is very simple. Just go to next. Okay. Here there is only one field which needs to be mapped. This is the ID. Okay. And here also there is only one field. Okay. So for delete you cannot supply any other field. Just have to give the IDs of the records which need to be deleted. Give the IDs of the records and then click on OK. Go to next. The same success error file location. Click on finish. You want to proceed? Yes. So there were 4 successful deletes and 0 errors. Means all the 4 records have got deleted. Item deleted. Right. So now you do not have those records anymore. For all the 4 records got deleted, or even if you have 500,000 whatever, the records will get deleted. Okay. Now what happens when a record gets deleted? When a record gets deleted, it moves to recycle bin. Okay, so it moves to the recycle bin. Where is the recycle bin? You will find the recycle bin here in the left hand side. Alright. If you don't see the recycle bin here, you can always go to the home tab and you can see the recycle bin here. Okay. All the records which are deleted are moved to recycle bin and they stay here for almost a month. Okay. Now in the meanwhile you have the option of undeleting it. These are the 4 records that I deleted. You want to undelete it, you can do that. Alright. So just go ahead and click on undelete. The records will be undeleted. If you click on empty your recycle bin, then the recycle bin will be emptied. Means these records will be removed from here, permanently deleted. If you click on empty your organization's recycle bin, there is an option that is available to you because you are the administrator currently. Then all the recycle bin data of your company or your org will be permanently deleted. Right? So let me just undelete it. Undelete will restore the data. So data got restored again. Here. So this is how simple it is.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah. Why these two options, empty your recycle bin and empty your organization's recycle bin?
Your recycle bin is only the data that you own. Okay. So as a general user, you will just have the option to see your data. But as an administrator has the option of emptying the entire recycle bin of the organization. Correct? So let's say you're just a sales rep. You have deleted some data that moves into your recycle bin. Okay. Then you can just go and click on empty your recycle bin so that your recycle bin gets cleared. But my recycle bin will not get affected. Okay. When you do empty organization's recycle bin, then everyone's recycle bin will get cleared. Correct?
Do I have that? Do I have access to that organization's data?
At this point of time, currently, because this user is administrator, that's the reason why. Normal users will not have that. Administrator should have that access, right? So this is something that will be available to the administrator, not to the normal user. Right? Okay. So clear on this? Okay. Now the next operation that we're going to do is an export. What is export? Export is just taking out the data from Salesforce into CSV format. Okay. So in case you have some data and you just want to take it out into CSV format, you can do an export. Why will we do export? We will do export for several reasons. Reason one can be I want to take a data backup. Second can be I just want to cleanse the data outside Salesforce. Sometimes it happens that you want to clean the data, and for doing that you just want to bring the data outside Salesforce, and then you want to perform the operation, the cleansing operation. Okay. So that can be done. So and one more reason for doing an export is maybe sometimes you just need a small quick report, some data, right? So that particular export option is required whenever you are planning to take a data backup, or you're trying to cleanse the data outside Salesforce, just bring in outside Salesforce and then clean it, or you are planning to just take out a quick report sort of a thing. Okay, let's say just now we saw update and delete operation, and we saw that for update and delete we need the IDs, right? Now before you can perform a delete operation, you at least need the IDs, right, of the records. So how will you get the IDs? Right now I had the IDs with me, but if you want to delete, let's say you just want to quickly delete all the records from a certain area or a certain industry. All right, how will you get the IDs of all those records? So first of all, you can do an export to get the IDs and then perform the delete operation. All right, so these kind of reports can be quickly fetched using export. So export will always give you the CSV format. Again, the output will be in CSV. How do we do export? Just come here, click on this export. Let's say I want to export accounts, so just select account, choose the target location. Now it's not the file that you're browsing, this is where you are defining the target location where your export file will get saved. Okay, so location can be defined, we'd rather put it here as export extract and microphones on mute please everyone. All right, that's my target location where I want the export file to be saved. Click on next. Which all fields you want to export? ID, name. So you have the option of selecting which all fields you want to export. Let's phone number, website, industry, annual revenue, number of employees. That's it. That's it. Okay. So the fields that you want to export, you just select those fields. Do you want to put any criteria or clause on which all records need to be updated? That's again one thing. So if you want to put some criteria that only records from a certain industry, where industry equals to United States. If you just want to put any such criteria, you can define that. In case that's not the case, you can just leave it. But if you want to add condition, you should just come here and click on add condition. Alright. So the condition gets added. Now when you click on finish, all the records which meet these condition will get exported. And the fields that you will receive are these fields: ID, name, phone, website, industry, annual revenue, number of employees. Let's click on finish and see. Zero records. Why zero records? Because maybe there are there's no record with that particular billing country. All right. Let me do it again. This time without condition. Okay. Finish it. Yes. This time it could fetch 31 records. Right. View extraction. So these are all your records. Here is your extract. Got it? So this is how your export will work. Please let me know if there is any question or doubt here. And the export is simple. Again, this gets saved in the CSV format. So you can just go and open that. This is the file. See, this is the file which we got as an export. Sometimes what happens is we just want to take out the data take the data outside Salesforce and then perform the update operations. All right. Let's say your sales team or the marketing team will manually check the record and they will update them, and then you just want to put it back into the system. So then what you can do is you can just go ahead and do it this way. Correct? Tell me if there is any question or doubt here.
Not on the specific export function, but
Mhm.
so when we did the delete option, right? We did delete the whole record. Now, what if you just have to delete one specific field on all the records, whatever values and one
Do an
specific field?
update.
That got it. So when you say an update, will it override existing values or will it do only?
Update will always override the existing values.
Got it. Okay.
So just do an
And the other
update with a
question,
null value.
sure. Now, in this specific example, right, I
Hmm.
was looking at it yesterday too.
Hmm.
Why is it that the format of the phone number in the first 15 records or the 15 rows different from the rest of them?
So usually, when you manually come to this field and you come out of this field, it automatically takes the format. Once you come into this field and come out of it, okay. So
Okay,
that formatting automatically happens here. So, but when you're doing a bulk upload, it does not take the format.
got it.
So the other records also you have done bulk upload for this these records ABC and all this.
Yes, yes. Yep.
And I mean, while people are practicing, I would say, even if you try to insert 10 records or 12 records, try to insert the actual names of companies. That actually helps you understand things a lot better, as compared to this A, B, C, D.
Got it.
So it will be good if you try performing this kind of operations with some real names of companies. Let's say, just let me try and insert five, six companies, and try to put their websites, and also create a few contacts which are again name of the people. What will happen? You will understand what is actually happening on which record. Right? Otherwise, it becomes very difficult for you to understand. Because since this is very crucial stage for you to deal with the data and all. All right. Okay. So microphones on mute, please. Okay. All right. Shefali, your microphone needs to be on mute, please. I don't think. I'm not sure that. Okay, I muted your microphone from my side. All right. So let's just go back and work on this update, delete, and export options that we have done, right? So from tomorrow, as I said yesterday, from tomorrow we are going to start 15 minutes earlier, right? So it will be kind of 7:15 Pacific PST for people in US, and for in India it will be like 7:45 a.m. Right?